Day of the last event in Spain, Renault was knocked out by French national champion Paul Sirin.
I'm pretty stoked to manage to reach the quarter for the second time. Pretty hard and there is a lot of chop. The wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks and stoked.
7th ranked Eudasio da Silva was also defeated by David Tony Juan, the Rookie of the Year. Aaron Hadlow, currently 4th overall and multiple world champion, suffered an injury earlier on in the event and could not perform at his usual level. He wasn't able to finish his heat and had to concede defeat to Dutch rider Jerry van der Kop.
Yeah, today's been a pretty terrible day for me. Started off just with a little warm up before. It's pretty choppy out there and I ended up having a pretty bad crash on my ribs. So yeah, kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just got to the point where I wasn't really able to hold on, and in the end it wasn't worth it. Even if I could do a couple more tricks, maybe it would have got worse, and for sure in the next heat I would have struggled even more. So I think it's probably gonna have to knock this one on the head and just rest up for the next event.
Finally, one of the local riders and Brazilian champion Carlos Mario showed once again that he is up to the challenge, taking out Stefan Spiesberger in a very tight heat, securing his place in the quarter-finals. We're now moving into the single elimination phase of the event after a hard-fought round of trials. The conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Yeah, first round's coming up. Main event. Wind looks alright actually. Yesterday we had really strong winds, but today we'll pick up as well. Check out the conditions.
The first 2 rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandre Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as current tour leader Christophe Tack ploughed through the competition, while others suffered unfortunate setbacks. Brazilian hopeful and 6th place overall, Renault Romeo struggled in the windy conditions and choppy waters. In a replay of the last event in Spain, Renault was knocked out by French national champion Paul Sirin.
I'm pretty stoked to manage to reach the quarter for the second time. The condition was pretty hard and there is a lot of chop. The wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks and pretty stoked.
7th ranked Eudasio da Silva was also defeated by David Tony Juan, the kiteboarding world's Rookie of the Year. Aaron Hadlow, currently 4th overall and multiple world champion, suffered an injury earlier on in the event and could not perform at his usual level. He wasn't able to finish his heat and had to concede defeat to Dutch rider Jerry van der Kop.
Yeah, today's been a pretty me. Started warm up before. It's pretty choppy out there and I ended up having a pretty bad crash on my ribs. So yeah, kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just got to the point where I wasn't really able to hold on, and in the end it wasn't worth it. Even if I could do a couple more tricks, maybe it would have got worse, and for sure in the next heat I would have struggled even more. So I think it's probably gonna have to knock this one on the head and just rest up for the next event.
Finally, one of the most feared local riders and Brazilian champion Carlos Mario showed once again that he is up to the challenge, taking out Stefan Spiesberger in a very tight heat, securing his place in the quarter-finals. We're now moving into the single elimination phase of the event after a hard-fought round of trials. The conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Yeah, first round's coming up. Main event. Wind looks alright actually. Yesterday we had really strong winds, but today we'll pick up as well. Check out the conditions.
The first two rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandra Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as leader Christoph Tack ploughed through the competition, while others suffered some unfortunate setbacks. Brazilian hopeful and 6th place overall, Renaud Romeu struggled in the windy conditions and choppy waters. In a replay of the last event in Spain, Renaud was knocked out by French national champion Paul Sirin.
I'm pretty stoked to manage to reach the quarter for the second time. The condition was pretty hard and there is a lot of chop, the wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks and pretty stoked.
7th ranked Eudasio da Silva was also defeated by David Tony Juan, the kiteboarding world's rookie of the year. Aaron Hadlow, currently 4th overall and multiple world champion on in the event, and could not perform at his usual level. He wasn't able to finish his heat and had to concede defeat to Dutch rider Jerry van der Kop.
Yeah, today's been a pretty terrible day for me. Started off just with a little warm up before. It's pretty choppy out there and I ended up having a pretty bad crash on my ribs. So yeah, kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just got to the point where I wasn't really able to hold on, and in the end it wasn't worth it. Even if I could do a couple more tricks, maybe it would have got worse, and for sure in the next heat I would have struggled even more. So I think it's probably gonna have to knock this one on the head and just rest up for the next event.
Finally, one of the most feared local riders and Brazilian champion Carlos Mario showed once again that he is up to the challenge, taking out Stefan Spiesberger in a very tight heat, securing his place in the quarter-finals. We're now moving into the single elimination phase of the event after a hard-fought round of trials. The conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Round's coming up. Main event. Wind looks alright actually. Yesterday we had really strong winds, but today we'll pick up as well. Check out the conditions.
The first two rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandra Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as current tour leader Christoph Tack ploughed through the competition, while others suffered some unfortunate setbacks. Brazilian hopeful and 6th place overall, Renaud Romeu struggled in the windy conditions and choppy waters. In a replay of the last event in Spain, Renaud was knocked out by French national champion Paul Sirin.
I'm pretty stoked to manage to reach the quarter for the second time. The condition was pretty hard and there is a lot of chop, the wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks and pretty stoked.
7th ranked Eudasio da Silva was also defeated by David Tony Juan, the kiteboarding world's rookie of the year. Aaron Hadlow, currently 4th overall and multiple world champion, suffered an injury earlier on in the event and could not perform at his usual level. He wasn't able to finish his heat and had to concede defeat to Dutch rider Jerry van der Kop.
Yeah, today's been a pretty terrible day for me. Started off just with a little warm up before. It's pretty choppy out there and I ended up having a pretty bad crash on my ribs. So yeah, kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just got to the point where I wasn't really able to hold on, and in the end it wasn't worth it. Even if I could do a couple more tricks, maybe it would have got worse, and for sure in the next heat I would have struggled even more. So I think it's probably gonna have to knock this one on the head and just rest up for the next event.
Finally, one of the most feared local riders and Brazilian champion Carlos Mario showed once again that he is up to the challenge, taking out Stefan Spitzberger in a very tight heat, securing his place in the quarter-finals. We're now moving into the single elimination phase of the event after a hard-fought round of trials. The conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Yeah, first round's coming up. Main event. Wind looks alright actually. Yesterday we had really strong winds, but today we'll pick up as well. Check out the conditions.
The first two rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandra Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as current tour leader Christoph Tack ploughed through the competition, while others suffered some unfortunate setbacks. Brazilian hopeful and 6th place overall, Renaud Romeu struggled in the windy conditions and choppy waters. In a replay of the last event in Spain, Renaud was knocked out by French national champion Paul Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a team series. It's a 20.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Back mobe, front mobe, back mobe, front mobe, back mobe, front mobe, back mobe,
I've made a picture. I'll show it to everybody.
They wouldn't bring it to the beach.
back mobe, front mobe.
They wouldn't bring it, would they? Pretty boring.
Sirang.
I'm pretty stoked to manage to reach the quarter for the second time.
That log into? That was a pretty good shot. Or is that another video?
Is that camera there?
Or was that a pre-loaded video?
Oh, here.
Just started playing.
Yeah, that's the day.
Condition was pretty hard and there is a lot of chop. The wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks and pretty stoked.
7th ranked Yudazio da Silva was also defeated by David Tony Huang, the kiteboarding world's Rookie of the Year. Aaron Hadlow, currently 4th overall and multiple world champion, suffered an injury earlier on in the event and could not perform at his usual level. He wasn't able to finish his heat to Dutch rider Jerry van der Kop.
Yeah, today's been a pretty terrible day for me. Started off just with a little warm up before. It's pretty choppy out there and I ended up having a pretty bad crash on my ribs. So yeah, kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just got to the point where in the end it wasn't worth it. Even if I could do a couple more tricks, maybe it would have got worse, and for sure in the next heat I would have struggled even. I think it's probably gonna have to knock this one on the head and just rest up for the next event.
Finally, one of the most feared local riders and Brazilian champion Carlos Mario showed once again that he is up to the challenge, taking out Stefan Spiesberger in a very tight heat, securing his place in the quarter-finals. We're now moving into the single elimination phase of the event after a hard-fought round of trials. The conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Rounds coming up, main event. Wind looks alright actually. Yesterday we had really strong winds, but today we'll pick up as well. Check out the conditions.
The first 2 rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandra Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as current tour leader Christoph Tack ploughed through the competition, while others suffered some unfortunate setbacks. Brazilian hopeful and 6th place overall, Renaud Romeu struggled in the windy conditions and choppy waters. In a replay of the last event in Spain, Renaud was knocked out by French national champion Paul Sirang.
I'm pretty stoked to manage to reach the quarter for the second time. The condition was pretty hard and there is a lot of chop. The wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks and pretty stoked.
7th ranked Yudazio da Silva was also defeated by David Tony Huang, the kiteboarding world's Rookie of the Year. Aaron Hadlow, currently 4th overall champion, suffered an injury earlier on in the event and could not perform at his usual level. He wasn't able to finish his heat and had to concede defeat to Dutch rider Jerry van der Kop.
Yeah, today's been a pretty terrible day for me. Started off just with a little warm up before. It's pretty choppy out there and I ended up having a pretty bad crash on my ribs. So yeah, kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just got to the point where I wasn't really able to hold on, and in the end it wasn't. If I could do a couple more tricks, maybe it would have got worse, and for sure in the next heat I would have struggled even more. So I think it's probably gonna have to knock this one on the head and just rest up for the next event.
Finally, one of the most feared local riders and Brazilian champion Carlos Mario showed once again that he is up to the challenge, taking out Stefan Spitzberger in a very tight heat, securing his place in the quarter-finals. We're now moving into the single elimination phase of the event after a hard-fought round of trials. The conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Yeah, first round's coming up. Main event. Wind looks alright actually. Yesterday we had really strong winds, but today we'll pick up as well. Check out the conditions.
The first two rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandra Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as current tour leader Christoph Tack ploughed through the competition, while others suffered some unfortunate setbacks. Brazilian hopeful and 6th place overall, Renaud Romeu struggled in the windy conditions and choppy waters. In a replay of the last event in Spain, Renaud was knocked out by French national champion Paul Sirin.
I'm pretty stoked to manage to reach the quarter for the second time. The condition was pretty hard and there is a lot of chop, the wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks and pretty stoked.
7th ranked Eudasio da Silva was also defeated by David Tony Juan, the kiteboarding world's rookie of the year. Aaron Hadlow, currently 4th overall and multiple world champion, suffered an injury earlier on in the event and could not perform at his usual level. He wasn't able to finish his heat and had to concede defeat to Dutch rider Jerry van der Kopp.
Yeah, today's been a pretty terrible day for me. Started just with a little warm up before. It's pretty choppy out there and I ended up having a pretty bad crash on my ribs. So yeah, kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just got to the point where I wasn't really able to hold on, and in the end it wasn't worth it. Even if I could do a couple more tricks, maybe it would have got worse, and for sure in the next heat I would have struggled even more. So I think it's probably going to have to knock this one on the head and just rest up for the next event.
Finally, one of the most feared local riders and Brazilian champion Carlos Mario showed once again that he is up to the challenge, taking out Stefan Spitzberger in a very tight heat, securing his place in the quarter-finals. We're now moving to the single elimination phase of the event after a hard-fought round of trials. The conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Yeah, first round.
Yeah, kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just got to the point where I wasn't really able to hold on, and in the end it wasn't worth it. Even if I could do a couple more tricks, maybe it would have got worse, and for sure in the next heat I would have struggled even more. So I think it's probably going to have to knock this one on the head and just rest up for the next event.
Finally, one of the most feared local riders and Brazilian champion Carlos Mario again that he is up to the challenge, taking out Stefan Spitzberger in a very tight heat, securing his place in the quarter-finals. We're now moving into the single elimination phase of the event after a hard-fought round of trials. The conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Yeah, first round's coming up. Main event. Wind looks alright actually. Yesterday we had really strong winds, but today we'll pick up as well. Check out the conditions.
First heat of the day, which is going to be Bruna Kajia versus Christine Oja, as I've been told to pronounce it. It's a red flag up at the moment, so not long until we see the start of this heat. Some belter wind days the last few days, like 30 knots. To Christine Oja, who prepares herself, sets herself. She's gone for a nice shifty 3 there. I like the little kick out of the legs. It was a good demonstration of top technique with that move, setting yourself. And here she goes again now. Can she make this 3-0 to start things off? Might be a back to blind, we see to blind, with an S1 actually. So that's a pretty good start from Christine Oja. 3-0 up against Bruna Kajia, who finished in Tarifa. A good result for her, one of the best so far this year. But anyway, here she comes, Bruna Kajia. She's gone straight for an S-bend 1 of her own. That was nice. I think that will score maybe a little bit more than Christine's. Kite was a little lower, but she's still got some work to do here. And out goes Bruna as our cameraman's on Christine. That's okay. Just a back roll to toe side. As Bruna Kajia. Maybe if any of you have got any pre-recorded messages you'd like to email me, you could have them read out to the whole beach. Anyway, Olaf, get back on with that. That's Olaf's job today. As the last few days I've been on the live PA on the beach, which has been great fun. One of the words I've learnt is obrigado, which is thank you. Olaf's telling me that they actually have someone in the lineup now giving the commentary. I have imagined that, Olaf, being out there with a waterproof thing, riding around telling people about the conditions that your sea state, that sort of thing. That's pretty cool on the Hurley Pro. But hey, don't tune into that, Olaf. We don't want people tuning into that now. We want them tuning into the PKRA live stream, which appears to be running okay. So here goes Bruna Kajia. She will be in your frame now, heading out to sea with that air rush kite. Apologise about that. It was actually no Brazilian man, as far as I'm aware, has taken the Brazilian Championship away. But Bruna looking very comfortable here now as Christine Oja goes for the back to wrap. It's a back to block side, and there is the red flag. Finishing that heat, we go for a break before we join you. Hope you've seen the new video we have from Brazil. There's another one to show you a bit later on. We will be back in just a second. Bye-bye. The first 2 rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandra Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as current tour leader Chris plowed through the competition, while others suffered some unfortunate setbacks. Brazilian hopeful and 6th place overall, Renaud Romeu struggled in the windy conditions and choppy waters. In a replay of the last event in Spain, Renaud was knocked out by French national champion Paul Sirin.
I'm pretty stoked to the quarter for the second time. The condition was pretty hard and the wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks and pretty.
She's looking really impressive as we carry on with the next heat. And now I'm trying something new. I'm going to be talking live on the beach through the PA and to you. So we start things off with a blind judge on both of these riders. As looks like Paula's just a kite in the water there for no apparent reason, Gisela Pillay, and it's Katerina Langer who's going to come to her assistance as she rides out to sea. She's quite powered. That's what I think is what's going on here. The wind's picked up. Espen to blind with a pass, which she lands nicely. So Katerina Langer on the beach there. The Nobile rider is just launching a kite for her as Gisela Pulido comes kite. And there is a hinter mode from Gisela Pulido. In complete control of this heat so far is Gisela Pulido. No emotion on the face as the machine carries on. Just putting down a classic routine heat. So what's Novotna up to now? Gisela Pulido is just going to ride out to sea, just upwind, as Katerina Langer on the beach there. He's got the kite up. I think maybe a 7 or 8 that she's swapping to. Here comes the swap then. Hey, Mr. Cameraman, let's see the swap on the beach. It's always interesting to see how quick they can make a pit stop. So what's she taken? So that is now an 8-meter kite. Changing down from a 9 to an 8 is Paola. Lots of these North guys now are really noticing the difference between. That's one thing going out knowing you've had a bad heat, but going out knowing you've done your full repertoire is another. So here she's going for the shifty 313. Missed the bar. She'll be fuming now out there. That's a trick she's landed all morning. But coming up to Gisela is no easy defeat at this early stage. So what are we going to see from Gisela? Chromo, is that what's going through your head, Gisela Pulido, as you ride back out to sea? Or is it going to be the early exit? Has that run through your mind? So what we... Very difficult that to do. I've got a microphone in one hand, put up to my headset, as there's no guy doing PA on the beach. So, oh, our camera's gone offline there. Let's take you back to the studio. That was Novotna versus Pulido. We'll go for a quick break. We're now moving into the single elimination phase of the event after a hard-fought round of trials. The conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Yeah, first round's coming up. Main event. Wind looks alright actually. Yesterday we had really strong winds, but today we'll pick up as well. Check out the conditions.
The first 2 rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandra Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as current tour leader Christoph Tack ploughed through the competition, while others suffered some unfortunate setbacks. Brazilian hopeful and 6th place overall, Renaud Romeu struggled in the windy conditions and choppy waters. In a replay of the last event in Spain, Renaud was knocked out by French national champion Paul Sirin.
I'm pretty stuck.
So then let's cut out of that shot there. Here we are in the official studio. Let's just show you where I'm talking from here, and maybe you can understand. So I'm up here on the chair, just standing over. There's a member of staff. Let's get that changed back to your camera as we get ready for Lemets versus Manuela Jungo. Everything's back online again and working perfectly. Love to know your feedback. It's got to be about 1.5 minutes until we get going. So let's just take you back to where I'm sitting. Here's my setup here. So this microphone is for the beach. This one is for the live stream. This is how it looks when I do both at the same time. So definitely missing you out here, Dave. Could have done with that extra pair of ears and lips to keep me some company here in the judging booth. Let's take you back to the ocean. Doesn't look that choppy in that shot there, but I'll tell you something. I went out yesterday. Oh God, was it choppy? Jesus, nowhere to take off. And some of these Brazilian riders going mental. We're going to have some heats come up now, which I definitely think is worth staying and tuning in for, because these guys don't see the chop. They're going for double handle passes like it's mirror flat in Combuco or Worthing or somewhere like that with those classic flat conditions. They just don't care, the young kids. They're just, I don't know, 317s, 319s everywhere. So we will see some major heats come up. Right, let's get back to the action. Both these riders riding out to sea. There's Jungo with a big blind judge. As Lemets chooses to turn around rather than throw a trick on that tack. So Annalise Lemertz. On the pink kite then, Annalise Lemertz. That's an 8 meter. She comes in. I couldn't see a move from her there. Don't think she put a move in. As Manuela Jungo. On the liquid force, the orange, blue and black, it's going to be Annalise Lemertz, which tricks first here, I think, as she just rides downwind, prepared to unhook. There's a big blind judge from Annalise Lemertz. Nicely landed. 3-1-3 from Manuela Jungo. So this promises to be a close heat. Two different sort of styles here. We have a powerful, aggressive style of Annalise Lemertz, who's really established herself on the PKRA, and a nice, graceful, fluid style of Manuela Jungo. There's a 3-1-3 from Annalise Lemertz, and an S-bend to blind from Manuela Jungo, who bounces around out there like a car going 50 over a speed bump, but takes the landing. And out to sea on the starboard tack. Here goes Lemertz. What are we going to see here? Maybe a back to blind, or is it going to be the S-bend 1? It's going to be the S-bend 1, or an S1. So in comes Manuela Jungo. What is she going to perform? Maybe a slim, or a front roll to wrapped. Just waiting for the right time. There it is, the front roll. Sticks it to wrap. Just can't reach the bar there as it's pulled away from her as the kite just slightly rose up. So let's switch back to Annalise Lemertz on the pink kite as she comes back in, looking for a place to land. Sorry, to jump first. As in comes Gisela just into the judging booth to get her scores. Great hit, Gisela. That was a belter. She looks pretty happy about that. I enjoyed watching that. And it's front roll to wrapped from Annalise Lemertz, who's starting to edge this heat for me now. Out to sea then, Manuela Jungo, who's still in this. Just needs another big trick to keep her neck and neck. Searching. Out to sea. Out to the east. It's a back to blind just through the barway, so she's got some work to do now as Manuela Jungo. Can she take advantage? Annalise Lemertz gets chopped out. A gust or chop or something just blows her off the water as she returns to recompose herself. And I think it's a back to blind she's going to do on that next tack out as she comes back to the beach on that pink, black and orange 8 meter RPM. Thinks about what move she's going to do next as Manuela Jungo comes in. Is she going to go for that S-bend to wrap again? No. Yes, she is. She sets herself. Didn't want to know. So straight back to Annalise Lemertz, who's setting herself up for this. Surely a back to blind. Yes, it's the back roll to blind. Lovely landing. Anticipated the landing. Watched it the whole way and just dropped into blind, which is the way I think it needs to be done. Just dropping in nicely and controlled rather than forcing it in. And there's a back to blind for Manuela Jungo. Just goes over the hillside edge. So it's starting to become Annalise Lemertz. Where is she lying? Must be around 4th place in the rankings for the girls at the moment. Been on the podium a number of times now. Started on the KTE a while back. I saw her riding and she's really established herself, like I said, as a strong rider. And she comes flying up the beach. That's a nice big pop. Big hintermobe. Lots of beaming smiles around the judging areas. They love to see these powered moves. Manuela's just crashed her front roll to wrapped. Are we going to see some even more top moves now from Annalise Lemertz that must know this one's nearly in the bag unless Manuela Jungo can pull out 2 big moves. And I think we may well see 2 tack abortions here. There's the first coming up from Annalise Lemertz, using that time just to stay upwind. But no, Manuela Jungo is going to throw a trick. She's gone for the back to blind, just gets a back roll. So what are we going to see from Annalise Lemertz here? I think she's got the mobe in the repertoire here. That's my bet, so I'm going for mobe. Yeah, not a bad bet. It was the mobe attempt. Just didn't quite get the explosive, controlled pop that she'd have liked. That's a better takeoff for Manuela Jungo, searching for that S-bend pass. Check of the watch for Manuela. She heads out to sea. She knows she's still got enough time to make a difference in this heat. And she really could do with that back to blind now. She searches. Annalise Lemert's going to tack aboard as we focus on Manuela Jungo on the orange liquid force kite. Can we get this back to blind in to keep this heat alive? And she does. Nice landing, using the tail of her board to press against the water to try and get that tension in the kite earlier. As Annalise Lemert sets up for another mobe attempt. That's a better pop. Nice landing. Very good move. So lots of these girls now throwing mobes, slims. You know, this isn't a new thing. This has been going around for a while now. So this is really the difference between the top 5. As in comes Manuela Jungo. What's she going to throw? That's a better pop. Unlucky for her. Just doesn't land the slim chance. Or the S-bend to wrapped. Well, that was a crow mobe attempt out the back, I think, from Annalise Lemert. So another one of these girls just throwing the toe side tricks in there. To start things off, might be a bit of a butt check, but what a belter of a pop. With a blind judge 3 from Karolina Rinkowska, or a backside 313, but hey, we haven't decided yet what we're going to call this stuff, so I'll say both, and then you can't be angry at me. So Vieira's right in the zone now. I don't think she's going to trick on this tack. Is she? Yes, she is setting herself. Both these riders taking off at the same time. And I did the stupid thing of trying to watch them both, so I missed both the tricks. But hopefully you saw one of them back at home. You need to say something, Olaf? He likes talking on the microphone, Olaf Vantul, the race director here. Looks very happy today. So in comes Vieira with the blue kite. That's close to the beach. She's not going to trick there. Let's focus on Karolina Rinkowska in the background, staying nicely upwind. Are we going to see a slim from her? No, we're going to see an S-bend one. That's because I forgot which way she does her moves. So we're likely to see the slim on the way out now from Karolina, as Vieira waiting her moment to find the right piece of chop. The right piece of chop off from. And that is a big S-bend to blind from her. Is it time for the slim for Karolina Rinkowska? I'm going to put my hand to do. And that's what she did. So we got a slim chance from Karolina Rinkowska. Looking at some of these scores coming in from the judges. They liked that. In comes Vieira then with the blue gin kite. Here she goes. Sets herself. Going for... Whoa, going for a mobe. Nice. Back roll to wrapped. Bit of a chop out, but looks like the judges have put that down to a bit of a crash. But here comes Karolina Rinkowska. Let's see what she's got here. Is it going to be the mobe? Sets herself. No, back to blind. She does the mobe the other way. Idiot. Ready to blind from Vieira as Annalise Lemertz comes in to look at her scores. She looks happy too. Had a very good heat as well. As Karolina Rinkowska out to sea. Is it time for the mobe? The kite position tells me everything. It's got lower and lower and lower here as she sets herself for the chop. And there it is. There's the movement. Lovely movement she has on the back mobe, Karolina Rinkowska. If you ever want to learn that move, watch the technique as she throws herself into the lines. Enough momentum to flip the last 180 rather than force it round. Such an unnatural feeling to start with. And it takes me back to the days, so I didn't have a clue about that move. And as he used to say, you got to spin yourself up in the lines. You got to wrap yourself up in the lines like a spider in a web. And that is the idea. Wow, big crash out the back there. I don't know if anyone saw that from an unknown rider, not even in this heat. Let's hope he's okay. Back to the action, though. Let's look at Karolina Rinkowska. Did you see that, Baz Cool? No? Or Rowdy? I saw it. There's a back to blind from Vieira. Doesn't quite nail it. What are we looking for from Karolina Rinkowska? Front to blind, gets a bounce out. So that will go down as a crash. She lands that move around 73.5% of the time, my stats men tell me. You asked for stats back at home. We've got all the stats here for you. As Vieira here comes onto the port tack for the 73rd time at this Brazil competition. Riding in with the blue gin kite. Running out of time before she's going to hit the beach. So that's just been an upwind tack, or an attack abortion, as we like to say. Here she goes then. Vieira, she's going to repair the damage on some of those moves earlier. Is it going to front to blind? An S-bend to blind. Like the way she lands to blind, Vieira, very controlled. There's the front to blind as well from Karolina. Two different styles there. One flipping over the bar into blind, and the other landing blind with the arm nicely behind the back, which is always a good skill to learn when landing blind. You don't want straight arms landing to blind. Any pull from the kite pulls you straight over. With a bent arm, you can control it. Little ride off downwind. Good examples of front to blinds there. I suppose one was a bit of an S-bend to blind from Vieira. Here she comes up the beach. They're going to get it on the beach if this is missed. But she lands it. Oh, it is missed. And they nearly did get it. But it was a nice landing from Vieira. Just missed the bar. One of the most frustrating ways not to land a move is to actually land and then just let go of the bar. Those of you watching closely to our video on the live stream of yesterday's coverage will see Yuri Zun landing a 317 with his hands on the lines almost. As Karolina Rinkowska loads up that slingshot fuel, supported by a fifth line now. Things have changed a bit with those kites, but it looks very stable as it helps her new challenge for another world title as she rides out to sea. And that's, is that 2 tack abortions in a row? I think that might well be. So she's setting herself up for something here, Karolina, just going through the phases. Green flag is down, so less than 59.9 seconds maximum left of the heat. What's she going to go for? Is it going to be a toe side move? No, it's going to be a Mob 5. Oh no, she does that on the other tack. I keep forgetting. Other people do things the other tack than me. Back to blind for Karolina Rinkowska. Felt maybe she needed to repair that. Bit of a clash from Vieira. So what are we going to see then from Karolina? What's she setting up for here? I think she's just riding around now. Don't think she's going to do anything. No, just riding around. So that was a great heat then between Karolina versus Daniela Vieira. As we go back into live stream mode. Hope you found your way to the stream somewhere on the internet. I would love to hear your thoughts on the live stream page if you have. As we bring you the live coverage from this 8th PKRA of the season here in Barra Grande. It's beautiful out there. It's a lovely sunny day. Looks like the lens has been cleaned as well, so it probably looks better than it is. Still lovely. And it looks to me like we will be joining the men next. Olaf, are we on to the men? There goes Olaf. We're on to the men. Join us in around 2.5 minutes time whilst we get into the thick of the action with the men now. Out there in the choppy but very nice and sunny Barra Grande. Cheers then, cheers. Jerry van der Kopp. And the same from Tony Juan. Out to sea flies Jerry van der Kopp. That's a big blind judge 3 or backside 3 on 3. Shoot me for either way. I call it. I don't care. Front blind mobe. Well held on there by David Tony Juan. Or maybe it's David Tony Juan. Last one of the Spanish guys up here. That's Jerry van der Kopp. What's he going to set up for? 3-1-5. That's what I think. Oh no, he's gone for the early mobe. And that was a nice mobe. That's going to give him about a 6.5 to 6.8 for me. Lots of power entering the move. As in comes David Tony Juan. What's he setting up for here? Needs power. Maybe a 3-1-5. It's a Hinterberger mobe. As I'm talking exclusively to you now on the live stream, as the main microphone has died. It's a bit easier, I have to say. So then, David Tony Juan is riding out to sea on the Cabrino. Gone straight into toe side. It's going to be a Chromobe. It's a Chromobe 5 right in front of Jerry van der Kopp, who comes into the beach on that RRD kite now. And that was a great piece of riding from David Tony Juan there, who's probably forced this next trick on Jerry van der Kopp, who's seen that move go down. It will be fresh in his mind as he adjusts himself. I think that's what he's going to go for, Jerry, here. There he goes, pops into toe side. Loads of chop there as the long-legged man from the Netherlands has to ride so far downwind. Or the backside 3-1-5 from David Tony Juan. It's about that time. No, it's not. It's just a KGB. So I know that this trick is going to be a part of this heat in some way or the other as Jerry van der Kopp sets himself. Will we see Jerry van der Kopp repair the damage on the Chromobe or the Chromobe 5? He tried earlier and only just got a scarecrow out of it. So let's see. No, he's riding. No, he is. He's riding well fast in there. He's right on the zone. That's a better takeoff. And it's just a Chromobe from Jerry van der Kopp. And it's all Chromobe 5. You need good solid pop in order to go for that. So David Tony Juan, back mobe 5 maybe. I think he's thinking about it. Yes, he is. Just didn't get the right takeoff there. It was more of a kite's low. I think he's got, yeah, it's gone up. There he goes. Double S bend 3. Should have known. It's one of Jerry's faves in these heats, the double S bend 3, but he's it. And this is falling into the hands of David Tony Juan. Are we going to see the backside 3-1-5? Yes, I think, no, we're not. Wow, that is great riding. Copying the other rider. And mentally, what that does to you, when you crash something and a guy rides past and does it easy, it's hard to come back with here. So Jerry's got it all to do. If you're watching from the Netherlands and you're supporting him, he's in trouble here. Just like the Dutch football team were at the World Cup, they need something now. I don't think they're going to get it. David Tony Juan has been so consistent for a young man, training partners with Liam Whaley from Spain. He's going for the mobe 5. That's a better pop. Not really the right sort of pop though. As Jerry van der Kopp with a double S bend pass. Kite unfortunately went back over 12 and transitioned round this way. So we're going to see low scores, I think, for that. Here he goes, going for the Pete Rose 5. No, just a Pete Rose then for David Tony Juan. Who's one of them riders that shows everyone he can do it all. He can do it all. Don't see too many 3-1-7s for him, but in these conditions, gone for the blind judge 5 has Jerry van der Kopp, but he just hasn't found his rhythm in this heat. As that is the end of the heat. We'll be back with you soon. As how about the intro video for you now? Is that a bit different than the other one for you? Because we're always going to show the day too. So here you go. Hi, I'm Lewis Crathon. I'm here commentating for you on the live stream here at the PKRA stop of the year here in Barra Grande, Brazil. It's lovely on the beach there. Nice shot down there. Quite choppy here though. So it's actually my first time in Brazil. So I'm told it's not the usual Brazil that I'm seeing here. Thought I'd see crystal clear lagoons, those sorts of things. But hey, we've got 35 knots out there some days, maybe 30 knots. Not that today, however. but I was told bring a 7 and a 9 just to this Bebe. Those of you who might support Manchester United remember that Bebe that joined Manchester United. This Bebe is a completely different Bebe. He's the real thing. Unlike that Manchester United signing off the streets of Brazil, wherever it is he was playing football, he turned out to be not so great at the end of the day. But this Bebe, he's got some skills. He's throwing doubles left, right and centre. And he is a force, a Fraser Forster. So let's go back to the action as I get myself in position. Liam Wiley, let's talk about him a bit, as he is also challenging for the world title, actually, is Liam Wiley. Should Christoph Tack have a bad event here and Liam win for an interesting start. Mobe 5, boom. That's a big 7.5 at least for me, that Mobe 5 to start things off. That's the confidence of this young man from Spain. Speaks very good English. Front blind Mobe, though, completing the full 360 is Carlos Mario, keen to stop Liam Wiley here. He's gone for a front blind Mobe of his own. And just the time he had there to just spin round the last 180. Great technique from both these riders on that move. So how about that for your first two tricks entering a heat? That's serious. Mobe 5, front blind Mobe from Liam Wiley on his first two tacks. Already going to be around 15 points into this. So Carlos Mario setting up for just a Mobe. So there's the difference right there then. The Mobe 5 being the one for Liam Wiley to start things off. So we're going to see a slim 5 now, Az. What do you reckon? Slim 5? Yep, Az shakes his head, nods his head, sorry. He knows. Distance travelled from Liam on an 11 metre. That is interesting now. We have Mario just on an 8 metre RPM, so he likes to carry his speed into the heat. There's a tack abortion from Carlos Mario, though. Nothing on that tack as Liam Wiley sets up for, what's it going to be, a blind judge? No, it's just a grabbed KGB in the chop. Perfect. Love to be able to do a KGB like that. I'd love to be able to do a KGB. It's always got to be that trick. Anyway, Carlos Mario. Cool, that was a nice S-Mode 5. Made it look easy, did the young Brazilian rider who's recently joined Slingshot. Well, not so recently. At the start of the year, he got on Slingshot. Very talented guy with a promising future. And out he goes to see. What's he going to look for out here? He puts the kite in a position. He's in the chop. He's gone for a grabbed KGB. How did they hold on to that? It looked like the bar had been ripped out of the hands. Still managed to get round and force that last 180 of that KGB. So this is going to be a close heat, and I very much feel the doubles are going to play a part. But Liam's power, distance that he travels, he's gone straight in for a 5 here, I think. Chromoby's not happy. Look how far they have to ride downwind here to get that pop. Found it. I mean, they're travelling half the zone in toe side here, straight downwind, trying to find the right speed bumps, the right chop to use. And he certainly found it there with a nice Chromo 5. So the moves standing out for me here, edging Liam, are the Chromo 5 and the back Mobe 5. But Carlos Mario doesn't mind throwing 317s in these choppy conditions. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that soon as he rides his way upwind. Next trick from Carlos Mario, I think it's going to be, bring heats here, 38s from both of these two. I think it's going to be separated. Will that be a factor for the judges? Liam Wiley, what's he going for now? It's going to be he's gone for the damage repair on the backside 317. He felt it needed repairing. I know here that he did actually get scored for it. In his mind, he might think it's counted as a crash. So will he be panicking out there now, thinking it might be 2 crashes on that trick? There goes the 1 minute buzzer. 2 minute buzzer, sorry. For watch. I've got a watch back at the place. Never like to watch though, Olaf. It digs into my wrist. Yeah, I'd like it if you can give me one. Digs into my wrist, and I think it's great in life sometimes to not know the time, but probably here with these heat times, I should have a watch to get over it. There's a slim 7 attempt from Carlos Mario. He's held on to it. Big smiles from some of the pros up here just watching things in the judges area. He doesn't look bothered, Carlos Mario. It looks like he does this stuff in his sleep, just trying to sleep, just going around doing these things. Because these conditions are choppy that a rally to blind's pretty scary. Or as the sun's moved round. Here we are. Look, here's the Don't want to move. There's that bird from earlier. And there's all the judges just sitting there looking out to sea. And there's me here. Just at the live stream, like I said before, missing you here, Dave, having to do a few jobs here with the microphone on the beach. Now I've got my watch, like I said, which those of you which were wondering how this all works when the heat timer is going on, this timer just keeps on going. There you go, 9:09, 9:07. That's going to start again on 7. And they keep to this watch like can't get enough of this stuff out here. 20 seconds until the start of this heat. Time. 10 seconds left, cheers. Right, let's get ready for the next heat. Neto versus, as we say in England, Paul Serin, but it's actually Paul Serin in the next heat. It just pulled him round. It didn't give him that chance to force the last 180. Alex Neto will be watching, looking on now. And there's 5.5 minutes left for a grabbed slim 5. Little wobble on the landing there, but held. Now that could only have been the channels in that beautiful new profanity board, which kept him on his feet there. As he rides out to sea, is about to trick. It's going to be Paul Serin with a slim chance. Didn't want to crash that. Could have risked a DQ. There's the S-Ben 3. Forced last 360. The S3 from Alex Neto. Done very well this season as Alex Neto. Not to mention also Paul Serin, which has probably been a hindrance mode. Back to the action. The watch 3 minutes 29. Alex Neto getting himself set. What's he getting himself? That is the question. Is he getting himself set for a front blind mobe? Is he getting himself set for a blind judge 5 or a backside 3 on 5 as both riders cross paths? Looks like we're focusing on Alex Neto. So grab KGB, and that was lovely from Alex Neto, who's now starting to build the rhythm. Because it looked to me like Paul Serin was taking it to the Brazilian rider here. Could he be the first Brazilian man to lift the trophy high amongst the people dancing to the samba beat? I don't know, because that is a belt. Let's look at the watch. 1 minute 25 left. Now it's pressure time for these riders. Okay, back on the local PA as well as the live stream. As they, was it a battery problem, Olaf? Most probably new batteries. No? Okay, so Olaf fixed it. The man of many skills. Cool, what a landing. He landed out of a cloud of there. Did Alex Neto with the blind judge, who's finding his feet here, battling for this place in the semi-finals. Looked like a 3-1-5 attempt maybe. No, it would have been a blind judge 5 attempt from Paul Serin, as he does things the other way. Are we going to see? Coming to me. Something's up on the beach there. Let's take our attention back to this heat. How long is left? Quick glance at the watch. 30 seconds. It's last trick saloon. So what are we going to see? A slim? Maybe a slim 7 from Alex Neto. Yes, we are. He's gone for it. Just couldn't find the bar. Bang. Kite goes on the beach. So 13, 12, 11 seconds left. It's just a KGB. Back to blind in the end from Paul Serin. Very good heat between these two, battling for a place in the semi-finals, and that is the end of the heat. And that was a good heat between the two, Neto versus Serin. So we now move on to, what a big heat this one's going to be. I'm not going to adverts here as I just make some changes, as I like to put the names in for you, just in case you tune in and you wonder who is coming up next. So it's going to be nice, easy 4-letter ones for me. Tack against Zoom. There you go. That should have come up on your screen there. And Yuri's got nothing to lose now. And you would have seen that in Tarifa. His heats against Aaron. It's a different way of riding when he comes up against the good guys. well, not that he's not a good guy, but the guys that are ranked higher than him at the moment, he seems to unlock a different way of riding where it's just, I don't care anymore. Yesterday, but he's always happy, Renault. Happy Brazilian. So, two of the girls flying out to the start of this heat, just getting ready for the following one. Well, they're just going out for a bit of practice. It's Paula and Manuela. 10 seconds till the start of this heat. Let's get back on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both these riders then starting off on the port tack. It's Yuri Zun. Going to throw a big slim 5, I think. Yes, he is. Move for Yuri Zun on that lovely GP 2015 as Christoph Tack throws just a slim, misses the bar then. So not a great start for the current tour leader here as Yuri Zun is now downwind. Always interesting who goes downwind. He's gone in there for a big blind judge 3. Will he regret maybe not tack? Rides out to sea. Starboard tack on that liquid force kite. He's gone straight for the blind judge 5 or the backside 3 on 5. And he's crashed it. So he's got it all to do now. Has Christoph Tack, the current leader, as Yuri Zun looks comfortable as ever. What's it going to be? Will it be a 3-1-5? Will it be a 3-1-7? Has he got the confidence? 3-1-7? Yes, he has. Yuri Zun making a statement in this heat that he's really up for this. And he looks comfortable. And so much in the last few events we've seen him at, he rather would be up against one of the leaders and just have no pressure on him. And it seems to work for him this way. So what's he going for now? He's going for the blind judge 5. And he's landed it perfectly. Yuri Zun could well be on his way to another event win here riding like this. But Christoph Tack with the Mobe 5, putting himself back in contention in this heat. And that is the sign of someone that's been winning a lot of confidence. But he's got a lot to do here. But he knows. Quick check of the watch. Let's check ourselves. 3 minutes, 20 seconds of this heat to go. Rides out to sea, does Christoph Tack. He wants that blind judge 5 as well. And he's got it. Quite a little lower than Yuri. So now, is he pulling it back? Has Yuri Zun with a nice slim 5. And so many times in this heat, you think one guy's got it, another guy can come back. And as is the way, can he do it? He wants 3. No, doesn't get the pop he needs because he knows now he needs those big 7s. As Yuri Zun's going 7 to finish him off. Bang, big slam down. That would have been the finisher. But I got a little feeling he'll be confident. Christoph Tack needs a 7. No, he did want it. He's got his slim 7. But that kite wasn't super low, but it's still a 7. Or a Sevi Ballesteros, we used to call that one. Those of you golf fans out there.
Ella Pulido is eager to upset Carolina's winning streak. In third place is Brazilian rider Bruna Cagia.
Yeah, I just came from a second place in Tarifa, so of course my confidence is really high and I'm feeling really good on the water. But the girls are really tough competition, so hopefully I'll manage to do well here.
So with all that's at stake under the blazing sun of Barra Grande, the stage is set for anyone to take. Kiteboarding season is in full force here in Brazil, where the Barra Grande Kite Camp is ready to host the 8th stop of the 2014 PKRA World Tour. At just 400 kilometers north of Fortaleza, Barra Grande is a beautiful seaside town known not only for its year-round warm temperatures, but also for its strong and steady winds. Here in Brazil will feature a freestyle competition where riders will go up against each other one-on-one in 7-minute heats to see pull off the smoothest and most impressive tricks. Among the many different nationalities registered to compete, a great number of Brazilians have shown up. The stage is set for anyone to take home the trophy. Kiteboarding season is in full force here in Brazil, where the Barra Grande Kite Camp is ready to host the 8th stop of the 2014 PKRA World Tour. At just 400 kilometers north of Fortaleza, Barra Grande is a beautiful seaside town known not only for its year-round warm temperatures, but also for its strong and steady winds. The event here in Brazil will feature a freestyle competition where riders will go up against each other one-on-one in 7-minute heats to see, and Aaron Hadlow is officially back in the runnings. On the women's side, Karolina Winkowska is at the top of the rankings. Strong off her recent wins in Germany and Spain, her chances at winning the world title are looking more and more probable. But Gisela Pulido is eager to upset
everything I can.
Recapping now the rest of the rankings, Jacobs is out with an injury, Whaley is putting up a fight, and Aaron Hadlow is officially back in the runnings. On the women's side, Karolina Winkowska is at the top of the rankings. Strong off her recent wins in Germany and Spain, her chances at winning the world title are looking more and more probable. But Gisela Pulido is eager to upset Carolina's winning streak. In third place is Brazilian rider Bruna Kagia.
Yeah, I just came from a second place in Tarifa, so of course my confidence is really high and I'm feeling really good on the water. But the girls are really tough competition, so hopefully I'll manage to do well here.
So with all that's at stake under the blazing sun of Barra Grande, the stage is set for anyone to take home the trophy. Kiteboarding season is in full force here in Brazil, where the Barra Grande Kite Camp is ready to host the 8th stop of the 2014 PKRA World Tour. At just 400 kilometres north of Fortaleza, Barra Grande is a beautiful seaside town known not only for its year-round warm, but also for its strong and steady winds. The event here in Brazil will feature a freestyle competition where riders will go up against each other one-on-one in 7-minute heats to see who can pull off the smoothest and most impressive tricks. Among the many different nationalities registered to compete, a great number of Brazilians have shown up, determined as ever to make their mark on home turf. Household names Breno Romeo, Alexandre Neto and Eudazio da Silva, who surprised everybody by taking his first ever podium place last month in Tarifa, are up for the challenge and are definitely the riders to look out for during this South American tour stop.
How you can see is like a lot of Brazilians competing, and yeah, they are really hungry for the winning. So I think it's very possible to have a Brazilian guy that wins in here, and they are in the best place in the earth to train. Yeah, you guys gonna see the level is gonna be crazy.
Turning now to the overall rankings, the man from Belgium, Christophe Tack, is still at the top of the leaderboard, winning event after event and looking as unstoppable as ever. If he manages to take the event here in Brazil, his claim to the 2014 World Championship title will be set in stone.
Yeah, this event is pretty important. If I think I end up top 2, I would get the world title. But if it doesn't happen here, we have 2 more events in China. But I'm gonna go for it, that's for sure. You know, like I'm gonna give everything I can.
Recapping now the rest of the rankings, Jacobs is out with an S-bend 3s all round. Just missed Lemertz, looked like that. Or S-bend 1s.
Here goes Karolina Winkowska. Setting herself. Has to wait for the traffic to pass, even though she's on that starboard tack. Not worth the risk. Hoping for someone to get out of your way. Launches into a slim. Kite just went to 12. This is the opportunity then for Annelies Lemertz to get into the lead here. Edge well there. To stop Karolina Winkowska getting to that final. It's on about 4.2% incorrect trick names. Gonna have to bring that back down to the 0.5 at my peak time. Here goes Karolina Winkowska. Is it time for the mauve here? No, it isn't. It's time for the slim. Forces it out there. Annelies Lemertz could do the big move here, although this is still a very close heat. Lots of crashes here. That's a nice takeoff. Oh, I enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed that move there. Nice front roll all the way back round to wrapped. Good control. A clean landing. Nothing more the judges like than a clean landing and reasonable kite position. Here's Annelies Lemertz. Can she carry on? Oh, the confidence was there after that last great move. That back to blind, just crashing. So it's Karolina Winkowska. Is it time for the front to blind? I think she's looking. She's looking so intensively like a hawk prey. And it isn't. It's a back to blind repair. The damage repair. Bang down the middle. And once again, we don't see a leading edge blow. It's been, how many years has it been since understanding and feeling the state of affairs in this semi-final? Because she threw a blind judge free there. Could have thrown her big moves, but decided not to. Oh, and she's pulled off the back to wrapped, has Annelies Lemertz. That has mixed things up a bit here. As Karolina landed her 5 big tricks. 15 seconds remain. It's got to be that front to bind then from Karolina Winkowska, which you feel would definitely see it. It's not going to be. It's S-bend to blind, which has landed nicely. Oh, and about half a foot off the water, that kite recovers. Brilliant riding from both riders, Karolina Winkowska and Annelies Lemertz. Back to you on the live stream here. Just me and you now. As I put the microphone down. And I just want to talk a bit about that heat there. If you did see that, Annelies Lemertz versus Karolina Winkowska. We saw at the end of the heat there, me obviously encouraging to see front to blinds and the big moves, but as always and often is the case with some of the riders that are doing so well in the rankings, they have a very good brain on when to do the tricks they need and also what the other competitor has done and what they need to do. And what we saw there is Karolina Winkowska just repairing some of the damage on the earlier tricks, cleaner landings, the S-bend 1, the S1, and a number of other tricks, rather than going crazy, just feeling that if she stuck those a bit better, she'd have the edge. We'll get the scores through in a moment, and we hope you can join us for the next heat.
Managed to reach the quarter for the second time. The condition was pretty hard, and there is a lot of chop. The wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks, and pretty stuck.
7th ranked Yadazio da Silva was also defeated by David Tony Juan, the kiteboarding world's Rookie of the Year. Aaron Hadlow, currently 4th overall and multiple world champion, suffered an injury and could not perform at his usual level. He wasn't able to finish his heat and had to concede defeat to Dutch rider Jerry van der Kopp.
Yeah, today's been a pretty terrible day. Started off just with a little warm up before. It's pretty choppy out there and I ended up having a pretty bad crash on my ribs. So yeah, I kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just got to the point where I wasn't really able to hold on, and in the end it wasn't worth it. Even if I could do a couple more tricks, maybe it would have got worse, and for sure in the next heat I would have struggled even. I think it's probably going to have to knock this one on the head and just rest up for the next event.
Finally, one of the most feared local riders and Brazilian champion Carlos Mario showed once again that he is up to the challenge. Here we go. Big heat. This one. A few fans of David Tony Juan watching, listening. Maybe not. Maybe just pressing refresh all the time. But here we go. What a great heat we have here then, like this. He does it deliberately, I think. He likes the pressure of the last 4 minutes of the heat. Never looks bothered. Quick glance to his training partner, now competitor. He's gone in for a big S-bend 3 and S3 out to sea. Both these ride a very similar tacks to ride. As we see a better crow mode now from Liam Wiley will help him. That's nice, controlled, kite nice and low. As we now see Liam Wiley doing the usual thing of pulling the heat back the way he wants it to be. And so often we see that with Liam. I think he likes the added pressure. In comes David Tony Juan then. What's he going to do here? Is he going to go for a 317? Or is he going to go for the mode 5? No, tack abortion. Just a bit of upwind distance there. So out. Should take him upwind maybe of Liam. Where will he decide to go? He's going to go... If he wants this trick, what's happened? Liam's had a bit of a balls up out there as David Tony Juan has crashed a backward. Looked like a KGB David Tony Juan wanted. So Liam's had some kit adjustment there in the last 20, 30 seconds. Not sure what happened there. I can't wait to ask him, but he hasn't messed around, going straight for a nice big damage repair on the Slim 5. So here goes David Tony Juan. Liam is adjusting something down there. I think build the tricks. And I think that was a very important trick in this heat, that move there from Liam, because that's going to be one of his 5 scorers, I think. He hasn't had so many amazing ones so far. That one was a good one. And if he can get the doubles in here, he may well sway this. David Tony Juan needs that mode 5. Now, how he rode out of that, I don't know. That board was definitely underwater, and it popped back out like the other side, like a surfer in Hawaii, duck diving a large wave at Jaws. He came out the other side, rode it away, and he must be feeling very proud of himself right now. He's in a semi-final against his old sparring buddy, Liam Wiley. He's gone for the 317. Wow, slap, bang, wallop. There's the 317. Quite a little high, but show me someone doing that with the cart in the water, and I'll show you a crazy 317. And he's going for it now as Liam Wiley. Blind judge 5, or the backside 315. And you can't help but feel that with those doubles, that maybe Liam's starting to edge this. But this is going to be one of the closest heats I think we've seen of the day, maybe. But often I think that with Liam, and it's 2 points up. We need a 317 here or a Slim 7. It's going to be a 317 attempt for David Tony Juan. He wanted it. He turns around. Has he got the time? 1 minute and 5 seconds then remain in this semi-final, the first semi-final, guaranteeing a Cabrina in the final, or a Cabrina, as I've been told is the man himself. If you ever go into Portugal and fancy learning kiteboarding properly, go and see Rui Mira's school. Cheers. There's a KGB 5. I'm speechless because Liam's done it again. I think he's pulled his way up here. What a move to do at a time like this. He needs the 317 now, doesn't he? David Tony Juan. He's gone for it. And this is going to be close, but that KGB 5 is left everyone speechless really up here. I'm certainly speechless. Olaf is speechless. He can't believe what he's seen. As Liam Wiley goes to seal the deal. Went for the Slim 7. Let's go to the bar. Great heat from both you riders.
Kite Camp is ready to host the 8th stop of the 2014 PKRA World Tour. At just 400 kilometres north of Fortaleza, Barra Grande is a beautiful seaside town known not only for its year-round warm temperatures, but also for its strong and steady winds. The event here in Brazil will feature a freestyle competition where riders will go up against each other one-on-one.
Big heat now, Zun versus Neto as one of these riders. And also a best kite will be in the final. So here we go then. Yuri Zun going to start with a trademark Slim 5. No, he doesn't. He starts with a Mobe, but I feel he wanted the Mobe 5 there. Interesting change of start by Yuri Zun, and he turns around onto the starboard tack and notices his teammate Alex Neto with just a pop Rayleigh there, so we're going to go straight into a blind judge 7. Are you kidding me? Second trick of the heat. Backside 317 from Yuri Zun, right in the face of Alex Neto. So he's got it all to do as the young Brazilian looking to make it to the final and possibly be the first Brazilian to win in Brazil. It's a grabbed slim from Alex Neto. First Brazilian man, Bruno, I do know. As Yuri Zun starting off with crazy tricks in these heats now. He really is comfortable out there in this chop out of a chop seat. And Neto's landed heavily there. That was a big caner of a landing on that double S-bend. I've missed that from Yuri. Just a 315. Just a 315 for Yuri. As he's positioning himself here. He's just riding out to sea here. Is he watching? Mate going to toe side. No, he's not. Front blind mode. Cool. That kite was nice and low from Yuri Zun. This one slowly turning away from Alex Neto. We're only a minute and a half in here, and Yuri Zun has smashed out an unbelievable lead. There's Alex Neto with a hint of Mobe. So one of these riders clearly more comfortable than the other in these tricky conditions. There is the Slim 5 but crashed by Yuri Zun. Could this be a turning point? Can he use this to his advantage? Alex Neto goes for the Chromo 5. That was nice. Love the finish of that where he just span round like a helicopter. And here goes Yuri Zun's version of the Chromo 5. Just as good, if not better. If not better, as? Close, evens. Sorry, Liam. Comes Liam with one of the highest scores of the day. Over 40. Not been done many times in history. As he comes to get his printout. Are you happy, Liam? Yeah. So, Liam, tell me about that last heat. Tell me you're riding against your teammate as we see a slim from Alex Neto. Was that the best heat you've ever had?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so probably the best heat you ever had. Doesn't seem too bothered about it. But here's Yuri Zun. 317. And he's got the landings down that very over the tail of the board. The 317. So Yuri unstoppable here. And it's a KGB from Alex Neto to put himself back in there. You know that one? Put himself back in there. There's a KGB also from Yuri Zun. So to me, looking like it may well be a Netherlands versus England, Spain final. Here comes Neto. Going for the Slim 7. And he's stuck it on the beach. As Yuri Zun staying so far upwind here. These riders do like that feeling, like all kiteboarders to start when. He's gone for the Slim 7 himself. Yuri Zun landed it perfectly. Yuri's riding well here, it has to be said. He's riding well with confidence, conviction, and competition experience, the 3 C's. Confidence, conviction, and crushing victories. I think crushing is the better C there. And crushing blows. As Alex Neto. Can he get some doubles in here? Yuri Zun sets up for something else. Nope, 2 tack abortions from both the riders. As Alex Neto is going to start going for those doubles. Or it's going to be a low front. No, it's going to be the double trouble. No, it's just a double S bend 3. Bombs it down. He's in trouble here, is Alex Neto, as Yuri Zun looks to really cement this victory. It's a double S bend. Not even, as there's still enough time in this heat, though, as Alex Neto. 2 minutes, 10 seconds. As Neto rides upwind. What's going through his mind now as he sets himself, leash wrapped round the head. Looks to me like he's going to go for the blind judge 5. Or the blind judge 7. Or the backside 3 on 5, the backside 3 on 7. As that leash has come unclipped, though, from Alex Neto. A critical time. As a Mobe 5 from Yuri Zun. As Alex seemed to come off there. Saw it dangling around like a tail of a donkey as he rode out to sea. And there's a big old dangle pass from an unknown downwind of the zone. Here goes Yuri Zun. What's he going for?
I gave Yuri some of my magic potion this morning, working well.
Well, that's Aido. Here he comes. Alex Neto's going for the slim 7 here. There's no two ways about it, but just couldn't find the tension from the kite to do so. And here comes Yuri Zun. What's it going to be? Have we seen a slim 7 from in this heat? I think we've seen all sorts of 7s. He's waiting. On that air rush kite right now. It's one of the most frustrating things that can happen to you when you're on the water and no wind's down there. And the Hintermobe just lets go. Does Annalise Lemertz, as Christoph Tack now has a kite in of Kajia, the option to disconnect and come up the beach. What should he do? There's Christoph Tack, nice sportsman he is, with the kite in front. Now Bruno Kajia's gone for it. She's mugged the kite off, but it hasn't quite disconnected. How long have we got left here? There it goes. Someone on the beach to catch it. It's Manuela Jungo. 1 minute, 40 seconds left as Bruno Kajia is going to swim back to get the kite. And she will have 1 minute to add another couple of tricks. So really getting interesting now. Annalise Lemertz goes for that Hintermobe and lands it. Let's see that, cameraman. That switch on the beach now with Christoph Tack providing the assistance. And a good decision by Bruno Kajia there. Her experience told her, this kite isn't going to launch. I'm going to get that one. And you have 1 minute and 15 seconds left, Bruno Kajia, to get yourself back on track. Brilliant change there, and it was great to see the support on the beach, including Manuela Jungo going to receive that kite. But is it going to stop Annalise Lemertz going for a Mobe? Green flag comes down with 1 minute to go. Now this one's all to play for. This has been a brilliant heat. Bruno Kajia goes for a big blind judge. Oh, big blind judge 3 as the crowd go wild. Flies up the beach and sprays the cameraman, Jeremy. There's Jeremy down there. Gets a load of water in his camera there. Wow, that could be expensive, Jeremy. Hope you got insurance. As Annalise Lemertz doesn't affect her, just drops out on that back to that. And that was a big old spray. Jeremy looking devastated down there now. He hasn't even inspected the damage yet. As he dries himself off. As let's just turn back to this last 10 seconds here. Has Bruna got enough time? She's inside the zone as we speak. One more trick. Is it possible? 2 seconds left. And that was a good turnaround from Bruna Kajir to fit that last move in. Great heat from both these riders. Annalise Lemertz staying upwind and showing that she's got what it takes to be on the top 3. We await to give you those results in just a second. Love all this action taking place here at the 8th stop of the PKRA World Tour here in Barra Grande, Brazil. We will take a quick break and get back to you. Wow. Things got interesting there. Sorry we lost you again from our live stream. I should have that on record really, shouldn't I? Sorry we lost you again, because the worst thing is that you carry on and you don't know. You look back at the computer, freeze, and basically waste my time for 30 seconds. Well, half a heat, even more. But I am doubling up on the microphone on the beach, so they can... I can feel like it wasn't all wasted. So you'll notice there's no names below for you now, but hey, later, because we have some big heats coming up. You have just joined us at a critical time. Has to be said, a very, very good time, because we are in the semi-finals. Sorry, the losers finals now of the men. Okay. Oh no, my eyesight is under threat from Olaf. Okay. If you do want to finish it, Olaf, and I'll get another one. I don't mind sharing my acai with anybody. Front blind mode from David Tony Juan, and a big fat slim. Not to be confused with a fat chance, that was just the term I used, a big fat slim for Alex Neto, as the green children are here today. Hello green children, the children of the earth, supporting us again. As David Tony Juan comes on the inside. Is he going to look for his mobe? He's not. He's gone straight into a big old Hinterberger. I love the way he lands, David Tony Juan. My knees used to be able to do that and go down to the ground. But they don't do that now. And here's David Tony Juan going for the Chromo 5. Wow, he really got inverted and had to force a bit of that, but he made it count. As Alex Neto's going straight in with a Hinterberger pass of his own. Don't usually see that move done this far up the ladder, but it's been a consistent move for riders here in these choppy conditions. It's one they've focused on getting, a lot of them. S-Ben 3 from Alex Neto. He's angry out there. I think he looks angry out there in this heat. Can we get that kite up nice and quick, Gisela? Cheers. Here comes David Tony Juan with a nice mow. Oh no, he just doesn't get the pop correct with that one, as those choppy seas do make it difficult. Lots of people clapping on the beach, but that's not for the riders in this heat. I don't think that's just for Gisela Pulido, because she's also wearing green like them. And there's a 3-1-3. There's the man from Brazil, Alex Neto. He would love the support from the beach. As we see a back to blind from David Tony Juan. That's off a kicker. That's a big thrashed Chromo 5. And actually that was off a kicker. We saw something off a proper kicker. Now, a big piece of chop and a kicker. What is the difference? I'd say a kicker starts at about half a metre. A big bit of chop that's half a metre turns into a kicker to me, I think. As David Tony Juan fights for this third position in the single elimination. That's a nice move. Gisela, we need that kite out the way again. They're just telling me that in my earpiece here. I even heard threats of a warning. Here's a Pete Rose from David Tony Juan as Alex Neto, is he going to prepare the damage as he searches? I think he is. Into toe side. Looks for the right place to take off. There is bits of chop now starting to form that's usable, because that would be silly to say there is chops now starting to form, because it's been there the whole time. Apart from those of you that went out riding, guys like Baz Cool and Ian had a great session in that flat water. Toby Bromwich is also out there getting some cracking photos in the dark grey skies and bit of rain they had, and 12 knots. Back to the action here though. Alex Neto on the 9 metre TS. Looking to get into third position in the single elimination. Tony Juan with a big old back mobe, slamming it down. Let's remember, even this one heat makes such a difference to these riders. It's the chance to defend your place on the podium, as Alex Neto lands a big chromo 5. Now that has put him back in the runnings here, as we're going to see a S-Ben 3 from David Tony Juan. These riders really going at it now, head to head for that third place and fourth place in the single elimination. What's Alex Neto got for us here? Are we going to see one or two things we're going to see here now? It's going to be blind judge 5 or a double S bend to blind, or a KGB. I knew it was couldn't be, that would be the third. Just let go on the bar though. David Tony Juan, quick check of the watch. Let's do the same. 2 minutes 30 seconds remain. He's got traffic though. Alex Neto's now turned around. Any time now we'll see him take off. He's in your screen there. He's gone for the KGB. Nice landed KGB. As Alex Neto prepares himself. There's the leash over the head. That leash isn't giving him problems this time. The shake of the head. You have to shake that water off, shake him up, get him ready for this next very important trick for Alex Neto. What's it going to be? Is it going to be the double S bend to blind, or is he going to go for the blind judge 5, or just the repair the damage on the back to blind? And it was a nice delayed move. Tony Juan going for the mobe 5. Doesn't quite get the takeoff. David Tony Juan. Looks like he was eyeing up the Pete Rose 5. Was he? Am I right? Am I wrong? He was lining it up. Was that a Pete Rose 5, or was that was a Pete Rose to block side? So you decide, judges, because that was right into block side. Would love to see what they call that. That could be a Pete Rose, could be a Pete Rose 5. Landing perfect 90 degrees on. So we will see what the judges say. A Pete Rose 4. That's a great one. Would it be a Pete Rose 4? Being more accurate, it would be a Pete Rose 470.
Now moving into the elimination phase of the event. After a hard-fought round, the conditions here in Brazil are looking ideal for a very exciting competition.
Yeah, first round's coming up. Main event, pick up as well. Check out the conditions.
The first 2 rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandra Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as current tour leader Christoph Tack ploughed through the competition, while others suffered some unfortunate setbacks.
I've still got it in my mouth. It's lovely, this stuff. And here's Karolina Winkowska with a blind judge. And Gisela Pulido replies with a massive blind judge 3. And one must feel that this heat could well decide how things go the rest of the year. Very important heat for both of these riders. For Gisela to put her stake in there that she's to go out with lights. As Karolina blows a 3-1-3. Gisela Pulido can deserve it. That's Karolina Winkowska. The back to blind. Olaf, do you want to find out if you want me to do the prize giving? As in comes Gisela Pulido. As Karolina Winkowska rides out to sea, searching for the place to throw the move. Big slim chance from Carolina. Different technique altogether than Gisela. Gisela with a back to blind just crashes. Kite pulled out of her hand. As judges peeled to their board, Gisela Pulido launches that kite so effortlessly. Those kites seem to launch. In comes Gisela Pulido. Gets ready to unhook. Is it going to be a 3-1-5? It's just, no, it's a Hinterberger mode. That chop out really slamming her down there with a whiplash smash to the head. So can she compose herself? She's had a good heat so far. As Carolina and Krause sets up for the front to blind. Chops out, bounces out on that board. So this heat really going down to the wire. None of these riders are really out the front just yet. As Gisela Pulido, what's going through her mind? Is she thinking time for the toe sides? I'd love to know what goes through your mind in the final. As we see a nice Hintermobe. That was what was going through her mind. And on the beach, they cheer for her. Well, they're just cheering anyway, because they're happy to be here in Barra Grande. As we see a 3-1-3 attempt. Krauska, back to blind, damage repaired by Gisela Pulido now, who looks to be edging out in the front. We have 2 minutes, 50 seconds left remaining of this heat. Coming up, we have the men's final. What a final that's going to be. Gisela's slightly ahead, they've informed me. You asked for stats. We will provide you some stats on the next move. And what's Gisela going for? Is it the Chromobe? No, she's got lots of power going into this trick. She's gone for just a pop on that one. Didn't go for that. It's Carolina. Is it time for front to blind damage repair? Is that what we're going to see? She focuses, unhooks. It's better. Bounces out again. Another bounce out on the chop from Carolina Winkowska. So here comes Gisela Pulido, straight into toe side. Tootsie roll on the cards. Gets round, lands it cleanly, and enjoys the applause from the beach, as so many people have come. There are thousands of people lining the beach here in Barra Grande, supporting their favourite kite surfers on. Really enjoying the action here in the final of the single elimination of the ladies. Carolina Winkowska from Poland versus Spanish rider and multiple, well, these both multiple of the single elimination for the ladies, and we will move on to the men's very soon.
Out there, and I ended up having a pretty bad crash on my ribs. So yeah, kind of came in knowing something was pretty bad, and then just I wasn't really able to hold on, and in the end I just...
First 2 rounds of the single elimination saw some great action. Top riders Alexandra Neto, Liam Whaley, as well as current tour leader Christoph Tack ploughed through the competition, while others suffered unfortunate setbacks. Brazilian hopeful and 6th place overall, Renaud Romeo struggled in the win. Here we go then. Big old final about to go down now, so I get one more mouth of my acai. That's really nice. 20 seconds. That's alright. You're okay there, Baz. Okay then. 4 seconds. Here we go then. Liam Wiley to start things off with a big Mobe 5. There he goes. Look at that takeoff. Speeds it round quite a little higher than usual with that Mobe 5. As Yuri prefers to stay upwind and just watch that first trick. As he goes, launches straight into a big slim 5. Interesting tactics here. Liam, the young whippersnapper from Spain, straight out, downwind, crashing a front blind Mobe. And will this give Yuri the confidence to try and take control of this final of the single eliminations of the men? Yuri's really interesting psychologically to me where the riders position themselves in the heat. Yuri's positioned himself more upwind, going straight into a massive blind and has turned round. And Liam doesn't care really what Yuri's up to here. He's gone straight out downwind. Here he comes on a starboard tack out to sea. The man from Spain with a front blind move. Damage repaired. These guys so good for every one of their trick attempts. Really important to get a trick on the board. There's a mobe from Yuri Zun. Explosive pop off the mobe from Yuri Zun. As he rides out to sea now, Yuri Zun. What's he looking for? The front blind mobe just goes over the front there. So it's not going to be the start we saw as Liam Wiley comes in. It's about time for a slim 5. Grabbed usually for Liam Wiley. There he goes. Grabbed straight. Just a slim. Didn't want to turn down that.
Choppy waters. In a
Replay
replay,
pulled on his body. Pulled on his hands. Told him that not worth risking. So we may well see another slim 5 during the later stages of this final. Straight in for a Chromo 5 then is Liam Wiley. And he spins round. Did he get... No, he's crashed that Chromo 5. So this one could go either way at this moment. It's very early days. 2 minutes gone into this heat. Yuri Zun comfortably upwind, in control of his position. He's gone straight in there for a 317, but manages a 315. Maybe he didn't even bothered with 5s. Liam Wiley comes in. His Chromo wasn't the best. Gets a big old faceful after that blow out the front there. He's just gone over the nose after being toe-side. Liam Wiley wants to repair the damage on that Crow 5. Nice bit of skill there if you watch closely there. Reaching for that steering line just to get turn quicker. Good tip for you there. I would never recommend reaching for your lines in any part of kiteboarding, but if you're advanced and you need to turn that kite quickly, reach forward, grab a meter's worth of outside line, you'll get that kite to turn quicker. As Liam Wiley demonstrating, he may be a young man, but he's got the experience. As here he goes. Liam Wiley on the inside, Yuri Zun on the outside. Little sense of peace in this final now as the riders prepare for the last half of the heat. Here they go. Liam Wiley, lovely grab KGB, slams down with a big landing. And here's Yuri Zun, so far upwind, it's like it's born in you in kiteboarding. You just don't want to be downwind at all costs. He's gone for the blind judge 7, has Yuri Zun, and he's landed it and rode away, almost riding the board on his arse, the last part of that. So now these riders starting to step it up. Really important to try and get on that first position. So to just have to defend one heat, hopefully, in tomorrow's double eliminations. Here comes Liam Wiley going for a 317. He's just missed the bar. So that one's not going to count. He'll stay calm. Yuri watches on, as ever, the experienced world champion he is. Former world champion. There he is, out the back. He's gone for a 317 this time as Yuri Zun, and gets a massive chop out. He's gone over the nose. This is going either way, this one, as Liam Wiley looks to take control. He's gone for the blind judge 5. It's only going to be a blind judge 3 as he didn't quite get the height. Back to Yuri Zun now on the GP. He'll be riding out to see. Oh, he's still on the beach. There he is. He's about to ride out now. Now, these two most likely going to trick at very similar times now as Yuri Zun sets himself. He's on his 11-meter kite, I've just been told, Yuri Zun. So it's Liam Wiley. Just throws the 315. Yuri Zun just taking a moment to breathe out there now. On an 11-meter kite, Yuri Zun. On an 11-meter GP in around, what have we got here, 25 knots? Around that. Likes to be powered. Well, that's what he needs. Liam Wiley's going for the blind judge 7 here. Just bounces out. That's one of those ones where, well, I don't know how that feels, but I know for most tricks that you feel you've got it and you bounce out, that's frustrating. The movement was perfect. The sea wasn't in your favour. As Yuri Zun now wipes the water off his brow as he prepares for something big. What's it going to be? Is it going to be this? No, it's going to be a 317. Didn't want it. He just, well, wasn't allowed it by the looks of it there as he didn't quite get the pop. The wind always has to be strong and pulling nicely through that move. So both these riders then are still going to land one big move. There's a lovely front blind mode from Yuri Zun out the back, really upping his score in his previous one. And Liam Wiley wants the 317. He's landed it right on the beach with the kite turning around and transitioning. Can't quite recover the kite. There's a leash over the head of him here, but he'll be happy landing that. But how will the judges view that? Wasn't super low with the kite. Could it be considered as a crash, maybe? Yuri Zun's going for that 317 one more time. He just can't get... He's thrown the bar away in sheer anger there. That's an angry guy there. He knows that this will make such a difference to his heat. As Liam Wiley and Yuri Zun, how many attempts have they got left here? And that's what some of the guys are looking at up here. How many attempts, Az? It is. It does look like both of these riders are a little tired after putting so much energy into the big heats. Back to blind from Yuri Zun. He's going for it again, is Liam Wiley. Just crashes. Or does he? Blind judge 7. 15 seconds left then of this men's single elimination final here in Barra Grande. It's Yuri Zun on best kiteboarding against Liam Wiley from Cabrino, the upcoming Spanish star. 5 seconds left for one of these riders to throw something. Looks like Liam Wiley's going to have a shot at it. As Yuri Zun, both these riders going in for a big move at the end. Liam Wiley goes to the beach and almost gets Jeremy again. Hey, Jeremy. Hope you got that camera nice and dry. Nearly wet again. And what a final we had there. A completely contrasting final to the semi-finals where both these riders found the chop very difficult, maybe a bit tired. We now wait to see the scores. And we're going to stay with you on the live stream so that we can bring you the scores. Although, actually, we don't do that here because it's the prize giving. So maybe you'll have to wait. So thank you for joining us here for the single elimination final. We hope to bring things to you tomorrow a bit smoother. And I'd love to have your feedback if you were watching today, just so we can improve things tomorrow, as ever, internet being a problem at this day and age. Really. But I've enjoyed speaking today. See you tomorrow, and pay attention to the internet for the results coming out shortly. Goodbye.
Last event in Spain, Renault was knocked out by French national champion Paul Siran.
I'm pretty stoked to manage to reach the quarter for the second time. The condition was pretty hard and there is a lot of chop, the wind was pretty strong, but finally I managed to land my tricks.